There is a reason why the devil tries to attack your mind, because everything starts with your mindset. Whatever it is you want to achieve, have, be in life, it all starts up here with an idea, with a thought, with a belief about yourself. Whatever you believe about yourself, you will become. Those things that you're saying to yourself that are negative, that don't help you get anywhere, those are lies. You know what God says about you? You know what God believes about you? That you're smart enough, that you're capable, that you're wonderful, that you're beautiful, that you're His greatest creation. Hello everyone, how is everyone doing today? Dominika coming to you live on Facebook once again. Happy Monday everybody. Today's topic is, we have Mindset Monday, and I want to speak to you about the fact that your mind will believe whatever you feed it, so you gotta choose the truth. You gotta feed it the truth. And this is gonna be a great topic if you already know about mindset, even if you already know about the power of positive thinking and affirmations and all that stuff. This is still going to be really powerful to you, because I'm gonna talk about it in a much different way than you would normally expect it. As always, expect the unexpected with me. So if you are joining me live, say hello in the comments. If you are watching me on a replay, give me a replay in the comments. I'm so happy to have you guys here. You don't even know how much it means to me that you guys are taking your time to watch my videos, to share, and to support me in any way that you can, because this is why I am doing these videos. I want to help people change their lives. I want people to have more happiness, because I used to be so depressed that I drove myself to insanity with my own thoughts, and it almost led me to the grave, because I became so depressed and so desperate to change my life. I was trying on so many different things. Nothing was working. I was tormented with my own mindset to the point that I wanted to commit suicide. And not many people talk about this, because they're ashamed, they're afraid, they feel guilty, they feel powerless, they feel like nobody can help them. And this is why I wanna speak to you guys about the fact that your mind, it's a very powerful place. Your mind, it's a very powerful place, and whatever you feed it, you will believe in. That's the truth. Whatever you believe about yourself, whatever you tell yourself on a daily basis, this is how you're gonna end up. So let me tell you a little bit about my story, so you know what I was feeding myself before I became a coach, before I turned my life around, before I became a self-published author. Because the thing is, whatever you tell yourself, this is what you're gonna end up as. Oh, hello girl, how are you doing? I'm so happy to have you here. So look at it this way, okay? Like few years ago, I would say even 4 years ago, since I remember, I fed myself some really, really bad lies. Lies that obviously by now I understand they don't come from God. They don't come from my own mind, but I was allowing these lies to feed my brain, and it drove me to insanity. So since I remember, since I was growing up, I used to feel like I felt like I will not be just another face in the crowd. I felt like there is a bigger mission for me in my life, and that I will be like a public figure one day. And I didn't really know how that looked like. Okay, I had a different mind about it. Like, I thought that I might become an actress, somebody that performs in the theater or on stage. And I was like, I don't want to be just another face in the crowd. Ever since I remember, ever since I was a child, I looked around me and the life around me, all the people on the streets, and all I could see was zombies. All I could see was zombies and people that lived an unhappy life, people that were just another face in the crowd, somebody that nobody noticed. And I always said to myself, I don't want to be just another face in the crowd. Since I remember, I used to tell myself, I don't want to be just another face in the crowd. And over the years, because of my traumas, because of everything that I went through in childhood, I became really, really sad and miserable, and I lived a very unhappy life. And I was still saying, I don't want to be just another face in the crowd. I don't want to be just another face in the crowd. And you know what I ended up as? Just another face in the crowd. Do you know why I ended up as just another face in the crowd that nobody cared about, that nobody saw, that nobody recognized? Because instead of focusing on the fact that I have what it takes to become somebody known, I have what it takes to become somebody that people notice, that people look up to, that people listen to, I was feeding my mind every single day with the affirmation of, I don't want to be just another face in the crowd. Even though I was telling myself, I don't want to be, your mind, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between I don't and I do not. Because I am literally a living proof of this concept. And so many people talk about it. But I was telling myself on a daily basis, I don't want to be just another face in the crowd. So guess what I was focusing on? My mind was focusing on the fact that I don't want to be just another face in the crowd. And instead of focusing on how do I become somebody who is not just another face in the crowd, I focused on what I did not want. And what I didn't want, I received. Literally, what I didn't want, I received. Because I was, in fact, just another face in the crowd. My worst fear, that I will never be known, that I will never change the world, that my life will never change, that nobody will ever know me, became the reality for me. Because that's what I focused on a daily basis. So I want to ask you a question. I want you to ask yourself, what kind of lie are you telling yourself on a daily basis, thinking that this is gonna change your life, but in reality, you are actually creating what you don't want? So for example, you might be saying to yourself something like, I will never find a partner that respects me. I will never become somebody known. I could never quit my full-time job. I could never write a book. I will never lose weight. I will never be pretty again. Those kind of lies are lies. The stuff that you tell yourself becomes such a bad lies that you become what you tell yourself on a daily basis. You became another face in the crowd. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I did. Because the thing is, I was waiting for somebody to invite me on stage. I was waiting for somebody to come and rescue me. I was waiting on somebody to recognize me and say, oh, you have the potential. I didn't realize that I can set my own stage online. I didn't realize that I can just go live and there will be my stage. I didn't realize that I might be able to make a YouTube channel and set my own stage. I associated the stage with a physical stage where somebody says to you, I like the person you are. Do you want to come and speak here? Do you want to show up here? Do you want to be this? But the truth is, you get to set your own stage. And online right now, when you do live videos in general, like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it may be, you actually can set up your own stage. And that's the beautiful thing about it. But listen to this, guys. Listen to this. You genuinely become what you focus on. Whatever you believe about yourself, you are correct. And I literally became the person I didn't want to be. Because since I was a child, I don't even know how it first began, but I obviously was a little bit sassy. I wasn't afraid of saying what was on my mind. I wasn't afraid of being different. I was very opinionated, and I was not afraid to share my opinions with others, including my family members. If they did something wrong in my eyes, I would most of the time speak up about it. And people didn't like that. People didn't like my attitude. So they used to tell me, you have to be quiet. You have to stop talking so much. Why are you laughing so loud? Why are you talking so loud? Why are you talking so much? Dominika, you are a horrible person. I don't want to be around you. My own family members told me this stuff. And guess what? Because they fed me this stuff, I began to believe in those things. I began to use these things that they said about me as affirmations. And I started feeding my mind with so much bullshit. That I was a horrible person, that I don't amount to nothing, that nobody cares about me, that I am hard to love, that nobody could ever love me for who I am, that I need to change, that I am just horrible, that I am nobody, that I will never be anybody, that I am just another face in the crowd. I told myself this stuff on a daily basis. And guess what stuff showed up in my life? What showed up in my life was the proof of what I believed about myself. And I fed myself so many lies. But then, when I gave my life over to God, I realized what the truth is. And the truth is that I am capable, I am smart enough, I am wonderful, I am created in the image of God, and nothing could change that. I hope that you guys can't hear that noise coming from the background. But yeah, I apologize for that. But the thing is, you guys, whatever you believe about yourself, you are correct. And you will genuinely end up living like that. Hold on, I'm closing my door. Okay, that should be better. That should be better. Yeah, I had to close my window as well because there is some works outside of my window. But I could hear that noise. So anyway, I apologize for that. But look at it this way. I used to tell myself so many lies. Those kind of negative self-talk doesn't come from anywhere else but the devil himself. He loves to attack your mind, and he has experience with it. He has experience with it. We, a lot of the times, can't tell the difference where this comes from, because it's our own thoughts, it's our own mind. So we think that this must be true because it's in our mind. And the devil will try to throw different types of stuff and see what sticks. And I allowed him to feed me so many lies that I started affirming all this stuff, and I started believing those stuff about myself. It drove me to the point that I wanted to die. Literally, I did not see my life beyond June 2023. I thought I'm gonna end my life because I drove myself to sanity. I could not sleep. I couldn't leave my house. It was a really, really dark place. But then when I discovered the truth about God and who God is and who we are thanks to Him, I no longer tell myself those kind of lies. Because now I understand how powerful our minds really are. Because what we tell ourselves on a daily basis, this is who we gonna become. This is who we gonna show up as. This is what we gonna achieve in life. Because I know the people that tell themselves something like, okay, so I published my own book right now. It's called Her Final Prayer, and it's a book about my life and my personal development journey. It's a memoir, but I would say it's like a personal development memoir. Because in there, I show everything about my story and then how I got out of that place. So that when you read it, that book can also help you become happier and more successful in life. Because everybody deserves happiness and abundance, and God really loves you. And I never knew that. I fed myself lies that nobody could love me. If nobody could love me, God was included in that as well. Okay? But right now I published my book, and some of you already bought it, and I'm so grateful for that. I am truly, I feel so blessed. And I feel like this book is gonna change the world, really, because there's some deep stuff in there. Really deep. It's different when I go live here and I talk about it, but when you read about it, my thoughts, the way I spoke to myself before, you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be shocked, and I'm sure it's gonna help you discover some things about yourself as well. But the thing is, okay, so I wrote this book and I published it. And people have been congratulating me and saying to me like, I'm so proud of you. You are amazing. Thank you for publishing this book. This is something that I definitely need. I bought your book. But then I had people who said to me, I don't know how you did that. I could never write a book. They said to me, I could never write a book. I'm not brave enough. I'm not smart enough. You guys this is gonna become the reality for you. If you are telling yourself you could never write a book, if you are telling yourself you could never achieve anything, this is gonna be the reality for you. And it doesn't matter what we are talking about, whether it is writing a book, whether it is starting a business, whether it is getting education, whether it is being like rich, being wealthy, whether it is buying your dream home, whatever you tell about yourself and about your life, it will become the reality for you. Because your mind is gonna sabotage you. Your mind is gonna create the reality for you. Even if you say, I don't want this to happen, it doesn't matter. Your mind doesn't know the difference, because you will constantly be thinking about it. You will constantly be thinking about what you don't want. This is the truth. This is the truth. Whatever you say about yourself, this is gonna become the reality for you. If you feel like you are meant to write a book one day, stop saying, I could never write a book. Like, if you feel like you should write a book one day, start saying, I will write a book soon. Soon can mean 5 years from now. It's still soon. When you look on hindsight, back on your life, think about 5 years ago. It feels like it went by so quick. 5 years from now, it's soon as well. So say to yourself, I'm gonna write a book soon. And your mind will start working on making this a reality. If you wanna quit your full-time job, you wanna work entirely for yourself, you have to start saying to yourself, soon I will be able to quit my full-time job. Soon my business will be profitable. Soon I'm gonna make this much. Soon I'm gonna hit my first 10K month. Soon I'm gonna hit my first 50K month. Soon I'm gonna have $1 million month. Soon. Whatever you say about yourself, you are correct. Thank you, Dana. Hello, how are you? So good to see you. So this is the thing, guys. And why did I make the title of this live video? Your mind will believe in whatever you feed it. Feed it with truth. Choose to believe in the truth. Because the truth about you, it's nothing that your mind tells you, but the truth about you comes from God himself. Okay? The truth about you is you are capable, you are smart enough, you have been created in the image of God himself. Who is God? The real God, not the one that people misrepresented to you, not the one that scarred you, that you think scarred you, not the one that people try to explain to you. The real God, the real God. I never knew who the real God was until I started looking for answers myself. Nowhere else. I didn't ask anybody for answers. I asked God the questions I needed answers for. And this is available to anybody. The real God that I met It's beyond our mind. He's so beautiful, so caring, so loving. He cares about every single person on this planet. No exception. But we believe in the lies that people have told us. We believe in the lies that the devil tells us. We believe in the horrible lies about ourselves, about God, about the world. But when we know who God really is and we discover his truth, your mind is gonna change. Your whole life is gonna transform. Because the biggest difference in my life, the only difference, the only thing that worked for me was getting to know God. I tried to change my life by my own. I tried everything, you guys, and God was the biggest factor that changed my life. The real him. The real him. And who is he? The most wonderful of creators. Whatever he creates, it's a masterpiece. You have been created by God himself as well. So that makes you a masterpiece. But you look at yourself in the mirror and you say to yourself, I'm ugly. I'm not capable. I'm not smart enough. I could never do this. I could never do that. I'm afraid I will never achieve anything. I'm afraid I will never get abundant. I'm afraid I will never get out of this situation. Guess what? Those things that you're saying to yourself that are negative, that don't help you get anywhere, those are lies. You know what God says about you? You know what God believes about you? That you're smart enough, that you're capable, that you're wonderful, that you're beautiful, that you're his greatest creation. He wants your dreams to come true. He wants you to have a beautiful life. He wants you to be abundant. He wants you to live a happy life. He wants you to have beautiful relationships. He cares about you. Even if all those people in your past told you they don't care about you, you don't amount to nothing, you're not smart enough, you could never achieve anything, those are lies that do not come from God. Because God wants the best for you. So I want you to start believing in the truth. The truth that God himself has upon your life. What lies have you told yourself? What lies do you believe about yourself? When in reality, you are God's greatest masterpiece and he loves you and he cares about you and he wants all of your dreams to come true. He wants the best life for you. But you gotta go ahead and find out who he really is. You gotta go ahead and listen to his voice. You gotta listen to the truth. The mind is a powerful place. You guys, when I never read the Bible in my life before. I didn't have a good example at home of who God is. I was sexually assaulted by my own dad. I did not have a good example of who God is. My parents taught me some things about God, but trust me, they had a lot of bad beliefs about religion, about God. Like, you know, they would use the Bible to justify their own actions, or they would use the Bible to, you know, like, they would use the Bible for their own liking. That's the truth. That's the truth. And, you know, like, parents would tell you, like, respect your mother and your father, but then they wouldn't respect you back. And, like, women don't like, you know, when people would say something like, women should be just quiet, they should not speak, they should obey. Those are lies. You guys, those are lies. When I got to know the real God, he is so wonderful. He loves us. Like, he honors women. He respects us. But all those lies that the people have told us in the past, those are lies. They do not come from God. But I believed those lies like a silly person. Because I grew up in that environment. So I believed those kind of things about myself. But God loves us. God cares about us. God wants the best for us. We gotta start looking at ourselves through God's eyes. You know how God sees you when he looks at you? Every single one of you who is here. Every single one of you who is listening. Every single person who is on this planet who is not even listening to me right now. Do you know how God is looking at you? God is looking at you with so much love in his heart. He looks at you and he has tears in his eyes and he says, this is my greatest masterpiece. This is my most beautiful creation. And I'm so proud of myself. And I love this person so much. And I want the best for them. And I can't wait to see who they become. I want all of their dreams to come true. I love this person so much. I care about them so much. That's how God sees you. I'm telling you, that's how God sees you. But we start believing lies. That we are ugly. That we will never amount to nothing. That we will never achieve anything. Those are lies. God would not put you on this earth if he wouldn't want you to have a beautiful life. He wouldn't. He doesn't want people to suffer. He doesn't want people to live a miserable life. And I know that the world can be a bad place as well. You know, I looked at the world through this lens as well. The lies that have been told to me, that the world is a horrible place. I hated my own life. I hated the world. I hated everything about it. I didn't understand why so many bad things happen on this earth. I didn't understand it. I was like thinking that if God exists, why would he allow all those evil things to happen? Why doesn't he just stop them? But the truth is, every single one of us is guilty of that. I myself have told lies before. I have hurt people in the past. It doesn't matter what extent it went to. Some people might be higher, some people might be lower, but where do you draw the line? Everybody has something that they did wrong in the past. How could God possibly pick? How could God possibly pick when all of it comes from the same root, the evil root of lies, stealing, cheating, hurting other people? The world is not a bad place because of God, but because we create this reality. Other people do it on a much higher extent than others. We have to agree. Some people are so far away from God that they will do unimaginable things to others. Rape, steal, lie, cheat, murder. These are not people from God. I thought that this is God's fault before in my head. I thought that God should prevent all of this. But this is not God's doing. This is our doing, like human being. They are so far from God, they don't know better. If they would be closer to God and they would know who he is, then they would not even do such things. I did horrible things in my past as well. You know, I think each one of us, we lost temper, we maybe stole something, we lied to others, we expressed our anger. All those stuff don't come from God. You know, God gave us all emotions to feel, but we also have to control our emotions. But the truth is, okay, the truth is this: God loves you. God cares about you. He wants you to have such a beautiful life. But you gotta stop telling yourself all those lies. That you will never find the partner of your dreams. That all you end up is in wrong relationships. That your business is never gonna work out. That you're working hard without any results. Everything that you say to yourself has meaning. Your tongue has the power of life and death. We have to speak life over our lives, and that's how our life is gonna change. You want to have more out of life? You want more success? You want more abundance? You want more happiness? You want true freedom? You have to look for answers in the one place that can give it to you. Number one, God. Feeding yourself with all these positive affirmations comes from God. You know why I started reading the Bible? I was very into personal development. I wanted to change my life, and I had questions that nobody could answer. I had questions nobody could answer. I asked so many people, and they could never give me the answer. All those people that always had something to say, they couldn't give me the answers. And the voice inside of me said, look for answers here. Look for answers in the Bible. I never would have thought to even look there. And I started asking God directly, God, give me the answers to this. Show me, like, what's the truth here? I started reading the Bible, and you know what I realized? Bible, it's not a book of rules, like, this is how you have to live your life, or otherwise you will end up in hell and I hate you forever. Because that's the kind of God that a lot of people painted the picture for me. Like they made me feel like God is somebody who hates us, who is like, I hate you, you are horrible. But no. Bible, it's a book that should guide us in life. Because God wants the best for us. And He knows that when we do wrong things, we hurt ourselves in the process. Why do I say this? How many of you can agree you maybe had a night where you drank too much, the next day you woke up with regrets, with bad mindset and a horrible hangover? Like sin that God talks about, it's not something that He wants to judge you for. It's He knows you're making your life miserable by it. You have guilt, you have shame, you did something you weren't happy about maybe when you were drunk, right? And you wake up with a hangover and you feel miserable. You're throwing up maybe even. God doesn't want you to live like that. So I now don't look at the Bible as a book of rules and judgment, but instead like a guide towards a better life. And I started reading the Bible from a different context, because a lot of people teach the Bible wrong. Even if they are pastors, even if they are some religious leaders, they teach the Bible from a very, very wrong place. They don't teach the truth about God, who God really is, and why the things in the Bible even exist, okay? But when I started reading the Bible, I realized that this is the best guide to a happy life. It has all the answers that we need in order to be more abundant, more happy, have the love that we deserve, look at ourselves with love, and true happiness and freedom, like to achieve all those things, the beautiful things. And Bible, it's a huge book about personal development. I'm telling you guys, when I started reading it, especially the book of Proverbs, if you have not read the book of Proverbs, read about it. When you start reading, you might feel like God is judging you in the process. But the thing is, you have to look deeper, because sometimes you might not understand what God truly means here. So you know what I do? I read something, I read a chapter, and I can Google something. ChatGPT is brilliant, you guys, for this stuff. It gives you answers like this instantly. You can say, you can ask ChatGPT to give you the answers, like, what does this chapter mean? What is this chapter about? You read what this chapter is about, you read the chapter again, and you get different answers. Because sometimes we misunderstand, the information just goes through our head and it just comes in, but it doesn't even land. But the thing is, guys, I highly recommend you read the book of Proverbs in the Bible. If you don't have a physical Bible, there is a free Bible app that you can download. You don't even have to have a physical Bible at your house to be able to read the Bible. You can have the app. But the brilliant thing is about it, okay? Book of Proverbs changed my life. If you want more abundance, happiness, freedom, better mindset, read the book of Proverbs. It's gonna change your life. But here's the thing. The Bible talks about the power of your mind. There is a reason why the devil tries to attack your mind. Because everything starts with your mindset. Whatever it is you want to achieve, have, be in life, it all starts up here. With an idea, with a thought, with a belief about yourself. Whatever you believe about yourself, you will become. Just like me. I thought, I don't want to be another face in the crowd. I became another face in the crowd. Because instead of focusing on how do I become known, how do I become somebody, some public figure, I was telling myself, I don't want to be another face in the crowd. So I became another face in the crowd, because instead of focusing on how do I make it better, how do I become, I just focused on what I didn't want. So I created what I didn't want. Whatever you focus on, that's what you will create. Hello, Marta. How are you doing? Oh, Dana, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. May God bless you too and your heart. Thank you, guys. But look at it, okay? I want you to make a committed decision to guard your mind. Your mind, it's so powerful. Your mind creates ideas, creates thoughts, everything on this planet. My phone that I am holding, like that I have right now on my stand, and I'm here on the live video. The phone that you're watching me on, your phone, was once an idea. Was once an idea. Everything on this planet was once an idea. This nail polish that I have right here on my nails, this was once an idea. Your brain is the key to creating beautiful life. Everything was once an idea. The airplane, the books, the tables we eat at, the plate we use for our food, the lawnmower, right, to cut the grass. Everything was once an idea. Where the ideas come from? They come into our mind. From God, they come into our mind. If your mind, all it focuses on is what you don't want, what you don't have, what you're not capable of, that's what will show up for you in your life. And if you feel like you want to know even more about this, if you feel like you want to learn more about this topic and how I got out of this negative self-talk, I would strongly encourage you to check out my book. It's called Her Final Prayer, and it's available on Amazon. I made a post about it, so it has all the links there, whatever country you're in, because I feel like this book will change so many people's lives. It's all of my thoughts, everything that I thought about myself before, the way I looked at my life, at the world. I created a horrible reality for myself. But then, whenever I started focusing on what God says about the life, about me, about everything, my life truly transformed. And what place did it start at? My mind. It didn't start with my bank account. It didn't start with me exercising. It started with my mind. Your mind, it's something that you need to exercise, just like physical body. You go on a walk, you lift weights, whatever you're doing. You eat a healthy meal. You have to feed your mind with the correct things. If you're feeding yourself wrong things, it shows up. It shows up. You're feeding your mind subconsciously without even realizing. Choose the truth that God believes about you. You are a beautiful creation. You are a masterpiece. If God wouldn't want you to have a beautiful life, He would not put you on this planet. That's the truth. This is the truth. What truth do you believe in? Because the thing is, those lies that you believe about yourself, they sometimes show up as truth. They become true. Those lies become true. If you feed yourself this stuff long enough, it will show up, just like for me. So you want to have beautiful life, you want to have success, you want to have more abundance, feed yourself with the correct mindset. The truth that comes from God Himself. The wisdom that He shares with us. That you are capable, you are wonderful, you are beautiful, you are stunning, you are sexy, you are wonderful. That's how God created you. But somewhere along your life, on your journey on this earth, you began to believe the lies that maybe some other people told you, that maybe you started believing about yourself. Some circumstances happened, but they are not true. They just gave you a distorted vision of yourself. They're not true. Whatever you did, whoever you are right now, God still thinks you're beautiful. God still thinks you're wonderful. God still thinks you can become better and wiser and abundant and wonderful. There's more for you. If you woke up this morning, there is more for you on this earth. God is not done with you. Your story is not over yet. It's just the beginning. Every day it's a brand new beginning. How do you want your story to look like? That's what you have to focus on. What do you truly want? That's how your life is gonna change. You have to feed your mind with healthy stuff, not unhealthy, that makes you feel powerless, that makes you doubt, that gives you fear. You can have all those emotions and still change your life. You know what transformed my life the most? When I told myself every single day, I am capable of anything I put my mind on. And this showed up for me because I started a business. I published, by now, as of today, 54 books. How does that happen? Because I told myself I am capable of anything I put my mind on. It's not a miracle. It's because I told myself that I am capable of anything I put my mind on a daily basis. That's how I published 54 books. That's how I started coaching people online. That's how I created masterclasses. That's how I created my programs. That's how I created my own link in bio website. That's how I edit my own videos. You guys, this comes from my mindset. Because I am capable of anything I put my mind on. I know that I would even be capable of becoming a doctor, an engineer, somebody who drives an airplane or operates an airplane, whatever it is. But I don't put my mind on those things. That's why I don't become those things. Because I feel like this is my mission, right? Right now I am focusing on this, on building this. But your mind will either make you or break you. I know I am capable of even much more than I'm doing now. But my mind is not there yet. Because you have to work on your mindset on a daily basis. Whatever next step you achieve in life, there will be more fears. There will be different doubts. That's why you gotta look for the truth. The truth that you are wonderful, capable, smart enough. That you will find the answers. That if you don't know something, you will find the answer. It's not that you have to have all the answers right away. The answers will come to you at the right time. Whatever you feed yourself will show up in your life. I am capable of anything I put my mind on. I'm smart enough. I'm beautiful. I'm created by God Himself. I'm not made in China. Not that there is anything wrong with made in China, because they are so freaking smart. Right? But you know what I'm talking about. You are made in heaven, you guys. What does that mean? Who are you because of that? Because of all of that, who are you? Because of who God is, who are you? What does that make you? You're freaking daughter of God Himself. You're a son of God Himself. You're a literal princess. And you're feeding yourself lies that you can't have more, that you can't achieve more, that you're not capable, when God is looking at you and He believes you're a princess. Because you are. Are you living like the true princess that God created you to be? Or no? What do you tell yourself on a daily basis? All those lies you have told about yourself in the past, they gotta go. Don't take them with you moving forward. Make a committed decision to change your mindset every single day. Look for the truth. Catch yourself on any negative thought. And you know what? Here's what you can do. Anytime you start thinking something about yourself, positive, negative, like especially negative things, okay? If you feel like you start thinking something and it's like, is this really true? You have to ask yourself, is this really true? Because sometimes there might be things that will be almost believable that they will be true, right? Sometimes there might be something that shows up and you might want to believe in that. You have to ask yourself, is this really what God sees me like? Is this really the truth from God? There is always an answer to any of your questions. So whatever you catch yourself on and you're doubting, right? Because maybe you never thought about this before. Ask yourself, is this really true? So for example, let's say like you want to start going live, just as an example, okay? You want to start going live on Facebook, but you're afraid of it. And you're like, your mind start going places like, what if I go live and I mess up? What if I go live and nobody shows up? What if I go live and people hate me? Okay? Whatever. Let's say those are your three top things, three top fears. You have to pause and ask yourself, is this really true? So what if I go live and nobody shows up? Is your life gonna end? Is it really that bad? Does it leave you room to grow? Do you see what I'm talking about? Whatever fear you have, whatever you believe about yourself, you can just catch yourself on that at the moment and start asking deeper questions. Is this really true? Okay, what's the worst case scenario that could happen? Okay, and what because of that? That's how you move forward, even if you're afraid. But I want to tell you this, guys. Start feeding yourself with the correct things. Whatever you feel like, whatever you feed, you will believe it about yourself. Whatever you feed your mind. So feed your mind with the truth that comes from God. You're capable, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, you're sexy, you smell nice, you have beautiful eye color, and you're so pretty and so smart. It's only a matter of time until success comes your way. It's only a matter of time before things turn around for you. You're amazing, and nothing could ever change that. That's the truth. So I want you to use those affirmations on a daily basis. Catch yourself on anything that doesn't serve you. And that's how your life is going to change. That's the truth. Okay? So I hope that you enjoyed today's topic, because I feel like there will never be an amount of times when I will think like, okay, it's enough, I will never speak about this topic. Because this is how your life changes. This is where everything starts. It all starts with your mindset, with your mind. It all starts there. Then it becomes the reality, whatever you say about yourself. So I love talking about this topic because it changed my life and so many people's lives, and it can continue changing our lives. We have to be determined and smart enough and believe in the truth. We are God's princesses. We are. So thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate your time. I hope you all have a wonderful day. May God bless you. May you be abundant and happy. Think about your life. Take some time now to think about what I spoke about today, because this is some deep, deep stuff. And that's how your life changes, when you change your mindset, your life will change. So thank you everybody once again. I'll see you tomorrow for another live video. Bye bye.